You think you know what making it looks like. You've got this picture in your head, the money, the freedom, the respect, the moment when everyone who doubted you has to eat their words. You've been running toward that image for so long that you forgot to ask yourself the most important question. What happens the day after? Nobody talks about that day, the day after you win, the day after you get what you've been chasing, the day after the celebration ends and you wake up and realize you're still you. Same thoughts, same fears, same demons. The only difference is now you have something to lose. You're sitting here right now thinking about making it. You're imagining the moment. You're playing it in your head like a movie, but you're not thinking about what comes next. You're not thinking about whether you're actually ready. You're not thinking about the person you need to become to keep what you're trying to get. And that's the problem. Because here's the reality. You're going to make it. If you keep pushing, if you don't quit, it's going to happen. But making it isn't the challenge. Keeping it is the challenge. Staying there is the challenge. Not letting success destroy you is the challenge. And most people aren't ready for that fight. Look at the people who made it and lost it all. Look at the athletes who got the contract and blew it. Look at the artists who got famous and crashed. Look at the entrepreneurs who built empires and watched them crumble. Look at the people who achieved everything they wanted and still ended up miserable. What happened? They weren't prepared for success. They were only prepared for the struggle. The struggle makes sense to you. Pain is familiar. Grinding is comfortable. You know how to be the underdog. You know how to fight when your back is against the wall. You know how to hustle when you have nothing to lose. But what about when you have everything? What about when comfort shows up and tells you it's okay to slow down? What about when success whispers that you've earned the right to relax? That's when you find out who you really are, not when you're hungry and desperate, but when you're full and comfortable, not when you're climbing, but when you're at the top trying to figure out how to stay there, not when failure is chasing you, but when success is testing you to see if you deserve to keep it. You need to understand something right now. Success doesn't care about your story. It doesn't care how hard you work to get there. It doesn't care about your struggle or your sacrifice or your journey. Success only cares about one thing. Can you handle it? And if you can't, it will destroy you faster than failure ever could. Failure is loud. Failure is obvious. You know when you're losing. But success is quiet. It destroys you slowly. It makes you soft without you noticing. It makes you lazy without you realizing. It makes you entitled without you seeing it. And by the time you wake up, it's too late. You've already lost everything you worked for and you don't even know how it happened. So let me ask you something. What are you doing right now to prepare for success? Not to achieve it, to handle it. What are you doing to build the character that can carry the weight of your dreams? What are you doing to develop the discipline that doesn't need motivation? What are you doing to create the mindset that can handle pressure without breaking? Most of you aren't doing anything. You're just working hard and hoping it works out. You're grinding and praying. You're hustling and wishing. But you're not preparing. You're not building the foundation. You're not developing the internal strength. You're not becoming someone different. You're just trying to get there without thinking about what happens when you arrive. And that's why you're going to struggle when it finally happens. That's why you're going to panic when opportunity shows up. That's why you're going to make mistakes you can't take back. That's why you're going to lose things you can't get back. Because you weren't ready. You wanted the results without doing the internal work. You wanted the destination without the transformation. Listen to me. Making it is not about luck. It's not about timing. It's not about who you know or what opportunities come your way. Making it is about becoming someone who can handle what you're asking for. It's about building yourself into a person whose success naturally flows to. It's about developing the capacity to carry more weight than you're carrying right now. You can't handle success with a broke mindset. You can't maintain wealth with poor habits. You can't sustain winning with a losing mentality. You can't keep what you're not ready for. And right now, most of you aren't ready. You're chasing things you don't have the character to maintain. You're reaching for levels you don't have the discipline to sustain. You're aiming for goals you don't have the strength to protect. And I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying this to wake you up, because the worst thing that can happen to you is getting what you want before you're ready for it. The worst thing is achieving your dreams with the wrong character. The worst thing is making it to the top and realizing you don't know how to stay there. So what do? You start building yourself right now. You start becoming the person who can handle success before success arrives. You start developing the habits of someone who's already there. You start thinking like someone who's already won. Not because you're faking it, but because you're preparing for it. You want to make it? Then stop living like you're still figuring it out. Stop making excuses like someone who's stuck. Stop thinking small like someone who's scared. Stop acting broke when you're trying to be rich. Stop being inconsistent when you need to be reliable. Stop being emotional when you need to be strategic. Stop being comfortable when you need to be growing. The person you are right now is not the person who makes it. You have to become someone else. You have to evolve. You have to upgrade every single part of yourself, your thinking, your habits, your standards, your circle, your discipline, your focus, your character. Everything has to change, because where you're trying to go requires a version of you that doesn't exist yet. And that's the work. That's the real grind. Not just working toward the goal, but working on yourself so you can handle the goal when it arrives. Not just chasing success, but building yourself into someone who success can trust. Not just trying to get there, but becoming someone who belongs there. Think about it like this. You're building a house, but you're not building the foundation. You're stacking bricks, but you're skipping the base. And you think it's going to stand? You think it's going to last? You think when the storm comes, it's not going to collapse? That's what you're doing right now. You're building success without building the foundation to support it. And when pressure comes, when challenges arrive, when things get heavy, everything is going to fall apart. You need a foundation. You need roots. You need something deeper than ambition. You need character. You need discipline that doesn't quit when motivation runs out. You need values that don't change when money shows up. You need principles that don't bend when pressure applies. You need integrity that stays solid when nobody's watching. Because when you make it, nobody's going to be watching you as closely as you think. The cameras aren't always on. The audience isn't always paying attention. Most of your life is going to be lived in private, and who you are in those private moments is who you really are. That's the person who determines whether you keep what you built or lose it all. You can fake it in public. You can perform for people. You can put on a show and make everyone think you're solid, but you can't fake it in private. You can't lie to yourself. You know who you really are when nobody's looking. You know whether you're really about what you say you're about. You know whether you're actually disciplined or just disciplined when it's convenient. You know whether you're truly committed or just committed when it feels good. And that's what's going to determine everything. Not what you show people, but what you are when nobody's watching. Not your highlight reel, but your daily routine. Not your best day, but your average day. Not what you do when you're motivated, but what you do when you're tired and nobody would know if you quit. So here's what you need to do. You need to stop waiting for success to change you and start changing yourself so you're ready for success. You need to stop hoping things will be different when you make it and start being different right now so you can make it. You need to stop thinking the goal is going to fix you and start fixing yourself so you can reach the goal. Because nothing external is going to complete you. No amount of money is going to heal your insecurities. No level of success is going to fix your broken relationships. No achievement is going to fill the void inside you. No recognition is going to make you feel worthy if you don't already feel worthy. Success amplifies who you are. If you're broken now, success will make you more broken. If you're insecure now, success will make you more insecure. If you're lost now, success will make you more lost. But if you're solid now, success will make you stronger. If you're disciplined now, success will make you unstoppable. If you're clear now, Success will make you focused. So who are you right now? Are you someone who can handle what you're chasing? Are you someone who deserves what you're asking for? Are you someone who's ready for the pressure that comes with winning? Because if you're not, you need to become that person. And you need to become that person now, not later, not when you get there. Now. You think you have time, but you don't. Opportunity doesn't wait for you to be ready. Success doesn't knock twice. The moment comes when it comes, and if you're not prepared, it passes you by. And you can sit there and blame timing or luck or circumstances, but the truth is you weren't ready. You wanted it, but you weren't willing to become what it required. Stop wanting things you're not willing to work for. Stop chasing levels you're not willing to sacrifice for. Stop dreaming about success you're not willing to prepare for. Because wanting it is not enough. Working hard is not enough. Being talented is not enough. You have to become someone capable of sustaining what you're trying to achieve. And that takes time. That takes work. That takes brutal honesty with yourself. You have to look at yourself and admit where you're weak. You have to acknowledge where you're undisciplined. You have to recognize where you're still making excuses. You have to call yourself out on the habits that are holding you back. You have to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. Most people can't do that. Most people would rather lie to themselves than face the truth. They'd rather stay comfortable in their excuses than get uncomfortable in their growth. They'd rather blame external factors than take responsibility for internal ones. They'd rather play victim than become victor. But you're not most people. If you were, you wouldn't still be here. If you were, you would have quit already. If you were, you'd be making excuses instead of looking for answers. So don't act like most people. Don't think like most people. Don't settle like most people. You're going to make it. But the question is, what version of you is going to be standing there when it happens? Is it going to be someone who's ready? Someone who's prepared? Someone who built themselves into a person worthy of everything they're receiving? Or is it going to be someone who got lucky and doesn't know what to do with it? That's up to you. That's decided right now, not when you get there, right now, in this moment, with the choices you make today, with the person you decide to become today, with the standards you set for yourself today, with the discipline you commit to today. So decide right now that you're going to be ready. Decide that you're going to do the internal work. Decide that you're going to become someone who doesn't just make it but keeps it. Decide that success isn't going to destroy you because you built the foundation to handle it. Decide that when your moment comes, you're not going to waste it. Because your moment is coming. It's closer than you think. And when it arrives, there's no time to prepare. You either are ready or you're not. You either can handle it or you can't. You either rise to it or you crumble under it. What's it going to be? Let me tell you what happens to people who make it without being ready. They panic. They self-sabotage. They make stupid decisions because they don't trust themselves. They spend money they shouldn't spend. They trust people they shouldn't trust. They celebrate too early and stop doing the things that got them there. They think they've arrived when they've only just started. I've seen it happen over and over. People work for years to get somewhere, and then they get there, and they don't know what to do. They freeze. They second-guess everything. They become paralyzed by the fear of losing what they just gained. And that fear makes them weak. That fear makes them conservative. That fear makes them play small when they should be playing bigger. Because here's what they don't understand. Making it once doesn't mean anything if you can't do it again. Getting there doesn't prove anything if you can't stay there. Winning once doesn't make you a winner. Consistency makes you a winner. Sustainability makes you a winner. The ability to perform under pressure repeatedly makes you a winner. One-hit wonders are everywhere. People who had one good year and then disappeared. People who caught lightning in a bottle and couldn't capture it again. People who got lucky and mistook luck for skill. And when the luck ran out, they had nothing left. No foundation, no discipline, no character, just a story about how they almost made it. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the person who had potential but wasted it. The person who got an opportunity but blew it. the person who was talented but undisciplined, the person who could have been great but settled for good enough. So what separates the people who make it and keep it from the people who make it and lose it? It's simple. The people who keep it are the people who never stop being hungry. They never stop improving. They never stop learning. They never stop pushing. They reach the goal and immediately set a bigger one. They achieve the dream and immediately start dreaming bigger. They get to the top and instead of relaxing, they start building a taller mountain. The people who lose it are the people who think the journey is over when they reach the destination. They think they can finally rest. They think they've earned the right to coast. They think the hard part is behind them, and that's when they start slipping. That's when they start losing their edge. That's when someone hungrier passes them. You have to understand that success is not a place you get to. It's a direction you move in. It's not a finish line you cross. It's a path you stay on. The moment you stop moving forward, you start moving backward. There is no standing still. You're either getting better or getting worse. You're either growing or dying. You're either climbing or falling. And the people at the top know this. The people who stay successful know this. They know that the price of success is constant vigilance. They know that maintaining excellence is harder than achieving it. They know that staying sharp requires the same intensity as getting sharp in the first place. Look at the people who've been at the top for decades. Look at the ones who keep winning year after year. Look at the ones who keep producing at high levels when everyone else their age has retired. What do they have that others don't? Is it talent? No. Talent is common. Is it opportunity? No. Everyone gets opportunities. What they have is commitment. What they have is discipline. What they have is a refusal to let success make them soft. They treat every day like they're still trying to make it. They train like they have something to prove. They work like they're broke. They focus like they're hungry. They don't care that they've already won. They care about winning again, and again, and again. Because winning once was never the goal. Sustained excellence is the goal. Building a legacy is the goal. Becoming undeniable is the goal. That's what you need to be thinking about. Not just making it, but staying relevant after you make it. Not just reaching the top, but building something that lasts when you're gone. Not just achieving success, but becoming the standard that others measure themselves against. And that requires a different level of commitment. That requires a different level of sacrifice. That requires a different level of discipline. That requires becoming someone who doesn't need external pressure to perform. Someone who doesn't need circumstances to force them to be great. Someone who brings intensity to everything they do regardless of how they feel or what's at stake. Most people need to be pushed. They need deadlines. They need pressure. They need consequences. They need someone watching them to perform. But elite people push themselves. They create their own pressure. They set their own standards. They hold themselves accountable when nobody else is paying attention. That's the difference. That's what you need to become. Someone who doesn't wait for life to demand excellence from you. Someone who demands it from yourself. Someone who doesn't need motivation to show up. Someone who shows up because that's who you are. And that identity doesn't get built overnight. That identity gets built through thousands of small decisions. The decision to get up when you don't want to. The decision to push through when you're tired. The decision to stay disciplined when nobody would know if you quit. The decision to do the right thing when the wrong thing is easier. The decision to stay focused when distractions are everywhere. Every single one of those decisions is building you. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're becoming stronger. Every time you choose growth over ease, you're becoming better. Every time you choose excellence over average, you're becoming someone different, someone capable, someone worthy, someone ready. That's what preparation looks like. It's not one big moment. It's a million tiny moments where you chose to be better than you had to be, where you chose to do more than was required, where you chose to give more than was expected. And those moments compound. They build on each other. They create momentum. They transform you from someone who wants success into someone who embodies it. So when success finally comes, it's not a surprise, it's not luck, it's not random. It's the inevitable result of who you became. It's the natural outcome of the person you built yourself into. It's the reward for all those private battles you won when nobody was watching. And when you make it like that, you don't panic, you don't freeze, you don't wonder if you deserve it. You know you deserve it because you became someone worthy of it. You know you can handle it because you built the capacity to carry it. You know you can keep it because you have the discipline to protect it. That's confidence. Not the fake confidence that comes from pretending, but the real confidence that comes from preparation. The confidence that comes from knowing you did the work. The confidence that comes from looking at yourself in the mirror and respecting what you see. The confidence that comes from becoming someone you're proud to be. Most people don't have that. Most people are trying to convince themselves they're ready when deep down they know they're not. They're trying to fake confidence when they feel insecure. They're trying to act successful when they feel like imposters. And that's exhausting. That's draining. That's unsustainable. But when you do the real work, you don't have to fake anything. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to prove anything. You just show up as who you are, and that's enough. You walk into rooms differently. You carry yourself differently. You speak differently. You think differently. Because you're not pretending to be something you're not. You became something you are. That's power. That's presence. That's the energy that makes people want to follow you. That's the energy that makes opportunities come to you. That's the energy that makes success feel natural instead of forced. And here's the beautiful part. When you build yourself like that, success doesn't change you. It reveals you. It amplifies the person you already became. It gives you a bigger platform to be who you already are. It gives you more resources to do what you were already doing. It gives you more influence to impact people the way you were already impacting them. You don't become someone new. You become more of who you already are. And if you built yourself right, that's a good thing. If you did the internal work, success makes you better. If you developed the character, success makes you stronger. If you created the foundation, success builds on top of it instead of cracking it. But if you didn't do the work, success exposes you. It reveals the cracks. It shows the weaknesses. It proves you weren't ready. And then you have a choice. You can either run from it and lose everything, or you can face it and start building what you should have built from the beginning. Some people get that second chance. Some people lose it all and get to rebuild with the wisdom they didn't have the first time. But not everyone gets that chance. Some people only get one shot, one opportunity, one moment, and if they're not ready, it's gone forever. So don't gamble with your future. Don't hope you'll figure it out when you get there. Don't assume it'll all work out. Assume nothing. Prepare for everything. Build yourself into someone who's ready for any level of success. Build yourself into someone who can handle any level of pressure. Build yourself into someone who can navigate any level of complexity. Because the higher you go, the more complex it gets. The bigger you get, the harder the decisions become. The more you achieve, the more people depend on you. And if you're not built for that, it will crush you. The weight will be too much. The pressure will be too high. The stakes will be too big. But if you build yourself right, you'll carry it. You'll handle it. You'll thrive in it. You'll look at challenges that break other people and see opportunities. You'll face pressure that destroys others and get stronger. You'll encounter situations that would make most people quit, and you'll push through. That's what making it really means. Not getting to a place where life gets easier, but becoming someone capable of handling harder things. Not reaching a point where you can finally relax, but reaching a point where you're strong enough to carry more weight. Not arriving at a destination where the journey ends, but arriving at a level where you're ready for a bigger journey. So stop thinking about making it as the end. Start thinking about it as the beginning of what you're truly capable of, the beginning of your real impact, the beginning of your actual legacy. beginning of the version of you that changes everything. That version is coming. It's inevitable if you keep building, but it's only powerful if you prepare for it. It's only sustainable if you develop the capacity for it. It's only meaningful if you become worthy of it. So become worthy, become capable, become ready, not someday, today, right now, with this decision, with this commitment, with this choice to stop playing small and start building big, because you're going to make it. The only question is whether you'll be ready when you do.